Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. NVIDIA closed positive today and that's a good sign. In this video, we'll discuss NVIDIA stock price movement for today and try to make an assessment for next few days using technical charts, fundamentals, data analysis, and the latest news regarding NVIDIA. We'll also take a look different buying and selling levels for Nvidia. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 118.31. It made a high 121.50. It made a low 118.15 and it closed at 121.44. That is 0.033% up. So one thing you can notice, today's opening was not good, way below than yesterday closing price. But the good thing is, just after opening, Nvidia went up. But after that, it could not sustain 121 level. It started showing some volatility after that. But just before the closing, it made another jump and closed above the previous closing price, that is 121.44. So we can say that it's almost flat compared with the Friday closing price. When Nvidia was down to 118, I was a little nervous. I thought maybe Nvidia is heading towards 115 level. So that would have been very disappointing to me because I was not expecting Nvidia to go down to 115 level today. At these levels, nothing much we can do. Neither we can buy more Nvidia nor we can sell it. So we have to wait until Nvidia goes down further or goes up to 130. Then we can probably make another transaction, either buy or sell. Moving on, last 5 days, Nvidia is still up about 4.29%. Last 1 month, Nvidia up about 12.44%. Last 6 months, Nvidia is still up 34.40%. And year to date, is still up about 152.11%. Again, that's a very good progress in last 9 months. We'll talk about more on NVIDIA price assessment for next few days later in this video. Now, let's take a look forward PE for NVIDIA and other AI stocks. You see that NVIDIA forward PE at this point is at 39.43, slightly higher than a Friday forward PE, but not a major change. And I still think that 40 is a very stable forward P for Nvidia. So at this point, Nvidia is still moving sideways because still Nvidia does not have any trigger, does not have any other data or news or something else that can help Nvidia to go further up. So all news and data is pretty old and Nvidia already adjusted those data in the stock price. Moving on, Palantir 109.41. So Palantir went up today, higher than Friday closing price. SMCI 13.10, slightly below than Friday forward P. AMD 42.62, lower than the Friday forward PE. Now let's take a look percentage change analysis for Nvidia. You see that Nvidia, based on the cumulative percentage change, is at 4.48% up from the previous earnings announcement. So we already entered in the second month, and historically speaking, the second month is always slow for Nvidia. So if the historical data is relevant, we can draw some correlation that in next few weeks, maybe we should not be expecting a big surge on Nvidia. But still, Nvidia has some room to go further up in next few weeks. Now, let's take a look technical charts for Nvidia. You see 180-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the Bollinger Bands. And you can notice that the gap between the upper band and the lower band is not expanding. And also, we haven't seen any contraction happening between those two bands. So this means that there is not enough momentum on Nvidia. So that's why you see last few days no clear direction. So starting from here, the Bollinger Bands started expanding, but the gap is almost the same in last 3 days. So you see that ups and down, but the gap is not expanding. So that's why lots of volatility you can notice on Nvidia stock in past few days. It's good and bad. Good in the sense that Nvidia has not gone down below 115 level, but the bad part is we still need to hold Nvidia for some time. So there is no buying or selling opportunity for Nvidia since past few days. And also I think the next few days the situation can be same. Now let's take a look Fibonacci levels. You see Fibonacci levels on your screen. As we noted on Friday and Thursday, the next level of resistance was 125. And I mentioned multiple times last week that 125 level looks to me a strong resistance level, and it won't be easy for Nvidia to break 125 so easily. You see that Nvidia went up above 125, but it could not sustain that, and it got a pushback after that. Now the two possibilities exist. It's still possible in next few days Nvidia can still go up to test 125 level, and also at the same time it can go also down to test 115 level. But the bigger possibility is Nvidia probably would be moving sideways between 115 and 125 in next day or two. And my strategy is still the same. So if for some reason if Nvidia managed to go down further around 108, probably I'll buy more Nvidia stocks. But if Nvidia was able to break 125 and try to reach 130, probably that would be a good selling point for me before the earnings. Now let's take a look some news regarding Nvidia. Starting from this one that says Supermicro split its stock. Here is what to expect next. Let's open it. So 10 for 1 stock split will take effect after trading ends. So probably from tomorrow, SMCI will start trading based on the recent split. But I'm still holding SMCI stock for next day or two. We'll see how the situation goes. Then probably I'll decide should I need to sell it or keep it for more time. So now this one that says Nvidia stock pairs losses and remains on track for yet another monthly gain. Let's open it. So basically they're trying to say that the stock was still up 1% in September after rising 2% in August. So even if we had some ups and downs in the month of September, but Nvidia still managed to close above 0% in September. And part of the reason they are citing for drop on Friday, and that is this one, citing people familiar with the matter that China has been urging its companies to avoid buying Nvidia chips to run their AI model. And we discussed this news on Friday or over the weekend, so not new for me. So now this one, and it's also talking about the same thing that says Nvidia stock falls. China just made this move. Let's open it. So they basically are trying to say the same thing, that the Beijing or the Chinese government is putting pressure on Chinese companies to buy locally produced AI chips. Now let's take a look this one that says Asia markets briefing, China stock clock biggest surge since 2008. Let's open it. So it says that Chinese stocks soared higher for a ninth straight day on Monday. So looks like Chinese market is having a very good time. I'm guessing that should also help US tech companies stock to go up as well, but it did not happen that much. So overall today the only two news that are dominating, and that's the Chinese stock market went up, and also the pressure from Chinese government on Chinese companies not to buy Nvidia chips. Now let's take a look other AI stocks. So you see that the mixed picture on the stocks in my watch list, some negative and some positive. The highest positive change is in Apple, that's 2.29% up, and the highest negative is on SoundHound, that is 2.51% down. Now let's take a look economic data due this week. So Monday we had no big data due today. Only thing we had due today was Mr. Paul's speech, and let's take a look what he said in his speech. So starting from here, and that says Mr. Paul's speech today, Fed chair says he still sees a soft landing for the US stock market. So now let's take a look more news regarding Mr. Paul's speech. So now this one talks about Mr. Paul was walking away a bit from the expectation for additional 50 basis point rate cuts. And also this one that says Mr. Paul suggests central bank does not need to cut aggressively to support the growing economy. So also this one that says Mr. Paul speaks about the state of US economy, and it says the US economy is in solid shape. We intend to use our tools to keep it there, and we have made a good progress toward restoring price stability. So overall his speech was positive. The only thing he's shying away is to give any confirmation regarding how much basis point the Fed to do the rate cut. And I think it's not very easy to tell at this point, and this would depend more on the next inflation report and the PC index data for this month and next month. So overall, if I summarize today's analysis, I do not think we need to worry or concern regarding Nvidia stock price movement at this point. So at this point, market is waiting for any new data regarding Nvidia before Nvidia goes further high. Nvidia would still do sideways movement or show some volatility in the next few days. So that's all about Nvidia analysis and assessment for today and next few days. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for your appreciation and watching this video. And also, I uploaded the Excel sheets that I showed in this video onto my Patreon account. So if you are an exclusive member, you can access those spreadsheets from there. Thank you so much for your appreciation and watching this video. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.